morning, guys. Hey, welcome to Cooking with Jamie and a Pinch of Jesus. Although I know I've been praying about some things, and so I'm going to make a couple changes. Gospel goodies. This is going to be called Gospel Goodies. It's simple, easy, small. I could fit it in on my things, and really going to promote this. So I'll still be cooking with Jamie and a Pinch of Jesus on my YouTube channel. I probably won't change that, but it on Instagram and on TikTok, it is Gospel Goodies. Facebook, if you follow me on Facebook, it's just me, Jamie LaPlante. So anyway, that's that. Yay! I know that I said that I was going to do a lot of videos this year. And I feel like I've not done any in the last several weeks because, let me tell you why. I started a new chapter in my life. I got this amazing job at a doctor's office here in Cave City as a receptionist, and I absolutely love it. And so, the change of trying to start a new job when I was only working 20 hours a week, and now, I'm working full time. And then the change of, I wasn't used to being around people. And so my immune system wasn't built up, is not built up, and I have been sick since probably about the second, third day I started there. And so, so when I did have free time on my weekends and stuff, I've done nothing but rest and sleep. Cause it has just knocked me down. But you know what? We're going to get back up. Today, before we get into our Pinch of Jesus, we're going to make breakfast pizza. Breakfast pizza. Yes. And you can make this any way you want. And we'll discuss it as we're putting ingredients down. I went ahead and, I know this is a cooking show, so I know you're like, well, why didn't you show us how to do it? I went ahead and made some of this all up ahead of time. Okay? I got my gravy over here. I made bacon sausage gravy. I have bacon already crisped up. I have my scrambled eggs already. I have my sausage. I have cheese. So we're going to show you how to do this. This is so simple and so easy. This is a Pillsbury pizza crust. That's all this is. See if I can get this to open up. There we go. In my pan, I went ahead and set my oven to 400 degrees. And then in my pan that I'm going to put the crust in, I sprayed it down real good. And then I put some cornmeal down on it, okay? And take your pizza crust out. Yum. And you're going to get this all spread out. And I'm spreading it, I'm spreading it all over this pan. Oh, I don't want it too spread out to where it's all thin. Depends on how you want your crust. You know what? That's my thing. How you want your crust. You want thin crust, thick crust. You want, now I'm putting it more up to this one side over here because it's not going to fit the whole pan. But this is going to give, my husband likes crust. And so this is going to give him a crust on his side and a crust around. And then on this side, it's not going to be as crusty. And that's okay with me. Super simple, super easy. Okay, so while we're doing this, let me read you my scriptures. Like I got the word endurance this morning. Because we really, just me starting this new job and then trying to figure out, when am I going to get the house clean? When am I going to get laundry done? When am I going to get, this done? And my videos, and I love to sew, and then and I'm doing all this stuff. And it's like, when am I going to have time, to do this stuff? And God just gives you endurance. So Hebrews 12, verse 1 says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Verse 2, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. So, what it's saying is lay aside every weight, every sin, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. With patience. And I've had a lot of patience the last few weeks of running this race. You know, anybody who knows me, I love a clean house. If something's out of place, it drives me insane. It does. It drives me insane. If I see dirt, if I'm walking in my house and I've missed a spot where I've dusted or done something, and I see dirt or something because the sun's shining through, oh my goodness, it drives me nuts. I stop whatever I'm doing and I start cleaning. So anyway, trying to be patient is what I'm trying to say, of learning to endure my time, learning to endure, the weight of the world, of knowing that, okay, I've got to do this, I got to do that, but, God's in control. It's his timing, his everything. So remember that. I hope that helped. Anyway, kind of threw it out there. Okay, oven set at 400. You got your pizza crust down, right? On cookie sheet or a round pan. I didn't have a round pan, but cookie sheet or round pan. Have your pizza crust down. Spray your pan. Put a little bit of cornmeal down there. Helps it. Okay, next thing you're going to do. Now, you can do two different versions of this. Okay? You can use olive oil and some parsley flakes and brush that, and then put all your ingredients on and that'd be it. Or you could do it this way, and I made gravy ahead of time. I made a biscuit and sausage and bacon gravy. So I'm just going to get my gravy, and I'm just doing a thin layer. I don't want a whole bunch of gravy on here. The rest of this gravy we'll use for dipping the pizza, drizzling over the top of it or something, and then what I don't use, I'll save for later, and we'll use for something else on another meal. But anyway, your gravy, just do a fine layer, just a fine layer of gravy down, okay? And then I'm going to start with cheese. I'm going to do Colby and mozzarella, Colby Jack cheese and mozzarella. So I'm just going to do a fine layer of Colby Jack cheese. On the bottom. I left me a little bit for the top. And then we're going to take your sausage. You don't have to I used a whole thing of sausage. You don't have to put the whole thing of sausage on here. Unless you want it. You can use it for other things. You can make other dishes with it. Set it aside. Make some wraps up this week. But do a layer of, but I'm using the whole thing. Do a layer of your sausage all over the place. Get in there. And I had put bacon. I leave bacon in my gravy when I'm cooking it on the stove. So I did pull a little bit out. And I'm going to put a little bit of bacon on here too. Just a little bit. Because there is bacon on my gravy. Okay, then scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. Yes, I did wash my hands if you're asking me. I always wash my hands before I start touching food. Put your scrambled eggs on here. Get it all over the place. This actually looks really good. How many eggs did I do? I did 4. I did 4 eggs. You probably could do more if you like, a lot of scrambled eggs on your breakfast pizza. I'm just kind of breaking this up, spreading it out a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Okay, now, final topping. Just the rest of the cheese, of the Colby Jack, and your mozzarella. I love mozzarella. My husband will tell me I didn't put enough cheese on this, but you know what? I think that's plenty. And that's it. It goes in the oven, 400 degrees, for about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven, until your crust is done. 400 degrees. It looks good. Once I get it out, like I said, I'm going to drizzle more gravy over the top of it. And we might have some on the side that he could use to dip it in or something. But anyway, that's it. That's it. So I'm getting back into doing my videos. Remember, Gospel Goodies on Instagram and TikTok. And when I start to talk anymore, it's probably going to be, hey, welcome to Gospel Goodies. And we'll always have our pinch of Jesus. Always have to talk about Jesus because, you know, that's what this is all about. And I plan on doing other videos of I had requests from some of guys from my husband's work wanting some of my cookies. So we will be making some cookies coming up, hopefully sometime this weekend. I know I got errands to run this morning, but get that done. My plan is tomorrow afternoon or later tonight making some cookies. And yes, when if I get them made, I'm gonna bring some to work, girls. And that's it. That's it. I might be doing some extra videos on TikTok with my sewing and stuff like that. So be looking for that. But that'll still be on my Gospel Goodies thing. So anyway, y'all be blessed. You know, I love you. So does Jesus. You know, y'all have a blessed day. And that's it. I'm going to put this in the oven. Let's get it going. 12 to 15 minutes. 12 to 15 minutes. Remember, Jesus loves you and so do I. Y'all be blessed.